Hello, everybody.
Oh, hi.
Welcome to the listen through of season 1, episode 11. Um, when we last left off, it was another bit of terrifying Rev voice acting with Eston. Eston has descended. He is at the Wavensea. I'm sure alone. I'm sure he didn't bring anything
Yeah,
with him.
I'm sure it's fine.
Thank you, Valor Fricative, for the gift sub. And thanks all of you for joining us and hang out. How are you doing, Rev?
Oh, not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited. I'm excited to hang out with you. Do we have anything to talk about in the before we get started?
I don't think so. Oh, that's not true. We just discovered this. Um, oh yeah, I am frozen on
Oh,
the for
that
some reason.
happens sometimes. I don't know why it's been happening recently.
Odd.
Hold on.
Um,
I will transition and then get him back.
okay.
There you go.
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
you're a full
oh.
person now.
Hey, look at me, all animatronics working again
Look at
instead of
you.
just powered down.
Yeah.
Um, we did just pass 650,000 downloads,
Congrats, Rev. That's
right?
amazing.
So, yay. So that's cool. That's a big number.
That is a big number. Um, the numbers keep coming at in faster and faster intervals, which is very exciting. I've been sort of
Yeah.
scrolling through our social media to see like how many months it was between X
Oh,
benchmarks,
uh-huh.
and yeah, it's great. And we owe that to all of you for listening
Right?
to the show and recommending it to all of your friends. Uh, what are we doing for 1 million?
That's a great question. Like I
We
I
should do
should definitely do some
something.
kind of a giveaway. Yeah, there's something. We'll have to think of something. Um, I imagine that would be.
When would that be?
I think it would still be at least a year and a half away. Who knows? You never know. We get a huge spike in downloads whenever we get a new listener because obviously they're going through a ton of back episodes. So
Connor recommends we should give away 1 million cursed Critshow dice.
I think if we pooled all the dice that people have used on the show and hate, we might be close to that number. But yeah, I think that's really the only thing. This, I mean, we'll talk about this later, but we're gearing up to start our next Omniverse Chronicles show.
We are. We're going to
Um,
be doing, um, what is it? Afterlife.
Afterlife, yeah.
Uh huh.
Afterlife Wandering Soul.
Wandering Souls, where our cast is going to be playing people who have recently died and don't remember anything about their life on Earth, and so
Hmm.
it's traveling through the afterlife and trying to get those memories of the people that they used to be. Should be very fun, and we've got some exciting guest players lined up for that.
I know we got to make some announcements about that as
We
well.
do.
Um, and also we're gonna have our first non RPG stream on a Monday in a while.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of this month, we will have a Monday night where it's just going to be hanging out, and we're actually going to have one of our buffer weeks to use. And then the Tuesday right after that, we're going to do our monthly Q&A. So
Yeah,
not next week, but the week after.
the week after. Yeah, it's nice that it worked out that way because we're gonna finish the Hawaii arc next Tuesday,
Yeah,
and then right the following week, just go right into the Q&A. So
yeah.
it's nice when things work out that way.
Right.
All right, bud, let's get into the episode.
Okay.
Hey everybody, this is Rev. Before we get started with the episode, there's just a couple of things I want to let you know about. We have a new website, which is www.thecritshowpodcast.com. And along with that, we have a new email address. Now, if you email our old Gmail account, we'll still get that. But you can now reach us at thecast@thecritshowpodcast.com. So if you've got any questions for us or want to let us know about anything, that's how you can get a hold of us. We are getting pretty close to wrapping up the second story arc. And I say this every week. I just want to say thank you again to everybody who is listening to the show. It makes me so happy to get on Reddit or to get on Facebook or wherever and see people talking about the show. So thank you to those of you who are enjoying the show and sharing the show. People have been making requests about doing some streams, about doing some other episodes, some other game types, and we have some stuff in the works. So we are listening. We are hearing what you're wanting to see, what you're wanting to take part in, and we are working towards that. The way that you...
I can't imagine those things will ever come to fruition.
No.
The way that you
kidding?
can help us is to continue to share the podcast. If you can find one or two other people that you think would enjoy it and share it with them, that growth means a whole lot to us. Also, if you haven't done it yet, if you could rate us and review us on whatever medium it is you're listening to the podcast on, it really does help a lot. The more reviews and the ratings that we have, the more that mystical algorithm suggests us to people. So if you haven't done that yet and you've got a minute and could do that for us, it really does make a whole lot of difference in us getting exposure to new listeners.
It's odd, years later, that's still so true.
That's still 100% true. The like leaving ratings and reviews is so so
wild.
important to getting discovered. Let's see. Question from Penguins. Question for Rev on these listen throughs. Have you ever almost started the "Hey everybody" and then realized it's a listen through and not a recording session?
No, because I still do that, I think, on Monday nights.
You do.
Yeah, this one Kim starts out, so there's no opportunity. This and investigate the history are the two times where I don't have the opportunity to do that because I don't.
Everybody.
Because I don't launch into that.
So again, thank you so much for really being such a wonderful community. It's great to have people who are excited about the episodes, excited about the show, and to have people who are leaving me somewhat irritated messages when I leave them on a cliffhanger like the one that we ended on last week. So I'm going to let the recap roll. You appear in the main office, and at that little table where you guys were talking is Ori sitting with the woman you just fought, and she is feeding off of his arm, and he looks at you. It's not what it looks like?
Ori, that's like a vampire, dude. What's happening? You're letting a vampire eat you.
Well, yeah, she's one of mine, though. It's okay.
What do you mean she's one of yours?
The guy who was like essentially the hive keeper went mad.
And who's that?
His name is Eston. Find them. Find them.
I'm getting us out of here. I don't care if it scatters us to the four corners of the earth.
Vampire Lord manipulates it so that we come here to deal with one of his rogue generals.
Ori, is there any way that you could help us fight that guy and then we can conceal your involvement afterwards?
I'm under a compulsion. I can't do harm to his people.
I don't know, man. I want to kill her because she's a vampire, but if she's like an innocent person who got stuck into this, kind of like me, it kind of sucks.
I pull out the stake and the mallet, and I'm just going to go over to her, and I'm going to hold it against her chest, and then I swing the mallet.
She jolts awake, and outside you hear, "Oh, you were all in my house. Now I'm coming to yours." Tess, Rachel is struggling against you. You can feel her fighting, trying to get the stake away from her chest. Spread out and find them. Oh, find them in their home. Roll kick some ass. Jake, as Tess is struggling, you see the transformation come over TJ again. Rachel's eyes flare up, and you see TJ, his teeth growing.
Oof, that's a 6, is what that is.
Except I can use the power of heart.
You can't. You're a creature right now.
Oh, damn. Sorry, bro. No power of heart.
So, Tash, you are struggling against Rachel, trying to get another hit on this stake. The mallet hits right next to her head. She reaches out a hand, grabs you, and sinks her teeth into the side of your neck.
Oh, God.
You take 3 points of damage. Jake, what are you doing?
So TJ's transformed.
He is. And you see Tass being bitten.
So does she have Tass's hammer arm like pinned?
She is holding it, yes. Like imagine that they're hugging, essentially.
His body is pressing against the stake?
Sure.
All right. I want to reach around both of them and just kind of squeeze Tass to use like our leverage to push the stake further into her chest.
All right, roll no limits.
Yes. Oh, no. Oh, this'll be the day that I die.
Yeah, that's a 3 minus 1.
So you wrap your arms around to try to squeeze them together, and your arm passes right in front of her mouth, and she sinks down and bites your arm.
That means she's not biting me anymore.
Yay!
Accurate. 3 points of damage. Jake, roll straight cool.
7.
You're okay. As Rachel is feeding off of your arm, and you guys are stuck in this bloody and disgusting game of Twister, she pulls back away and she lets out a scream, but it's not ferocious, it's pain. And you can see that from her chest, there is a point coming out of it. And you look up and you see that Ori has thrust the stake that you had extra through the chair into her chest, and she is dead. And he looks just shell-shocked. Whatever this is, I'm in it now. You guys better be able to save my sister down the road. TJ, you are fine again.
I'm like holding my neck at this point. And thank you, Ori. You have my word. We'll do everything in our power to make sure that we make this right. Try to save your sister.
Before you try, can I buy you some new dice?
Please, Ori, do that for me.
Maybe make some out of her teeth or something.
Oh, God. Ori, I didn't.
It's funny. I don't know why I don't have this in there. And maybe just early editing, but there was such a reaction at the table when they saw who it was that was helping them. I wonder why that was cut.
Connor asks about the recap. Rev, have you changed the process with the Critshow noodles so you can modify the recap duration yet?
No, but because I apparently still pay myself, so I'm just still doing the same thing.
Maybe you just like working within those limits. Maybe. Does Rachel not count as one of Nash's people?
I think Ori's getting ready to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because there is we'll talk. If she doesn't, I will stop again and I'll go over why he was able to do that.
But really, let's do just a quick RIP for Rachel, who I believe is the very first NPC named after a listener who died.
Mm-hmm.
The first of many.
the first of many. The first in a long, illustrious line of dead listeners.
Thank you, Rachel. We love you.
God, Ori, I didn't think you could hurt them.
Yeah, compulsion is... You have to dominate your will over the will of the person who put you under the compulsion. So the problem is, he knows.
Ori, man, I'm sorry
So there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we absolutely did give Rachel the dice that killed her. So yeah, Ori, when he said like I can't do it, it was more of I can't do it because of the ramifications. He is under compulsion, but in that moment he made a choice and he exerted his will over the compulsion and basically beat the role to be able to act the way he wanted to. But it does let him know that Nash instantly knows that he was disobeyed. So he doesn't know how, but he does know that something was done, that Ori exerted his will to do something that he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, that Ori did something that Nash told him that he can't or shouldn't do.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're never gonna see that.
poor Ori. He's now in such a precarious position.
Things get wild for Ori.
Oh, Ori.
let's just say there.
Oh, Ori. He was like you know, I mean, he was always a vampire and like always in the Nash organization, but I feel like a lot of his life was fairly chill, albeit sort
Yeah.
of under
Oh, yeah.
under duress because you know
Yeah.
his sister is taken. But meeting the boys is both, you know, it's a good thing for him, but it makes his life so complicated and just so and changes his life in a myriad irrevocable, like just it can't ever go back.
Yeah. I mean, I feel the same could be said for the four of us just in life.
That's true.
It's just, it's going to have an effect. It might be good. It might be
Yeah,
bad.
it's true.
But it's going to have an effect.
Let's see. Penguins asks, Rev, were you still doing NPC playbooks at this point?
I was not. I got that out of my system with
The Halifax.
NPC that we have not seen, and Rev.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, sure, that was, we won't go into that, but one of my favorite moments at the table was telling Jake that he had to resist that urge. It was just the shock and dead silence in the room because of what had just happened, and then to lay that on top of it. Ugh. That's like, I don't think I've ever given a chef's kiss, but I almost did in that moment because it was just such a good additional layer of tension.
Connor says, can someone tell him on Discord which NPC with a playbook we haven't seen?
Yes, so they have been active in the first story arc, but the guys have not met that person yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone will type
I'm
that
sure
out
someone
for you,
will
I'm
hook you
sure.
up. Thank you, Enthalpy. All right, let's keep going.
Ori, man, I'm sorry we pulled you into this. I know you wanted no part of it, and I wish we could have kept you out, but I'm glad you stepped in.
Yeah, I think it was about to turn ugly, it seemed like.
About to, yeah.
You can hear these ghouls running around outside. They don't know where you are, but they're searching. It's only a matter of time before they figure out where you guys are right now. So you've got a little bit of time, but very little to figure out what you want to do. So what's the plan then?
We either need to get out of here because there are a whole lot of ghouls coming, or we need to hunt him down and take him out now.
I can't get all four of us out at once, but I could get out there and I could draw their attention. We gotta take the fight to this guy. Like, we got nowhere to go.
Yeah, I mean, something. TJ, if you can come up with some, I don't know, a device, something to distract the ghouls away so that we can just hit him head on. I don't know, something. We need a distraction. Ori, is there roof access?
Yeah, there's a ladder out back that goes up to the roof.
Okay, I can definitely get up there with the sniper rifle, and if he is in the open at all, that would be huge. I just don't know how we're going to get the ghouls off of us. They're coming quick.
Gonna go through all my pockets and things like that, and I'll pull out all the stuff that I've got, glow sticks, and got like that little patch with the little combination on it. I've got this thing of Vienna sausages.
What the hell for?
I don't know. I just found it in the cave.
In the cave?
Yeah, in the cave, in the storage room with all of our stuff in it.
So do they have something to do with the vampire lord or something?
Oh my god, do they use these as dog treats?
Roll investigate a mystery. Whoever's inspecting these.
Oh, 7.
I'll give him the power of heart
Well, that's 8.
for 8.
Good. That's a good choice because I was going to take one away from him. You get hold 1.
What is being concealed here with the little winners?
The package is open. There's about a dozen of them in here. And as you inspect it, the smell fills the room. It's pretty strong. And as this smell fills the room, you each have a moment of remembering seeing the ghouls whenever they're paused, sniffing the air. You very clearly remember they don't seem to be looking at things unless they're underwater. When they're stationary, they're sniffing and they're feeling. So you think their sense of smell might be heightened. And inside of each little sausage is a fairly large pill that, based off of your little bit of medical knowledge, might be a pain pill or a sedative or a muscle relaxer.
Okay, we have something. Oh god, you're still bleeding. And can I try to, like, patch him up a little more?
Oh, yeah, roll it.
Sedative?
Rev, at some point off mic, did you ban oops as a move?
No, not at all. No.
No, TJ was always pretty. There was a point where he switched playbooks and didn't have that move anymore.
Yeah.
So you didn't see oops for a while.
Yeah.
But while TJ had oops, he was always fairly judicious about
Yeah.
using it. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that's really why, that comment about an unstoppable character, TJ is very good about not using those big moves often, when they really matter.
Yeah.
I'll use the power of heart to help him out with healing me. Like I'm holding like
What does that get you to?
7.
Okay. I'm going to take one away only because I saw you cueing him to use his power, and I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. So what's the effect of a 6?
You have 1 more damage.
He's like inspecting your bite hole, and he like tries to cut it away to get rid of like the dirty skin, and you hear him go, oops.
Sorry.
Jeez, ow. God, my bite holes. They're quivering.
Well, there's an image I'm never going to get out of my head. TJ's quivering bite hole.
Okay, you've got the sausages. What are we going to do with them?
Should we take him out there and just start throwing them to him? Or maybe even Ori, would you like some?
No, I ate.
No, I meant to throw to the ghouls.
Oh, yeah, I wonder, like, here, can I see him?
Yeah.
I might be able to justify why I turned against Rachel, if she kind of went blood mad and stuff. If I could not get involved with the fight against Eston, that might go a long way to saving my sister. I think I might be able to take these and lure the ghouls away with them.
That would be super helpful. If you can get the ghouls away, we can just try and 3v1 this dude.
Yeah, I'll take those and see if I can lead them away.
Okay, we have a plan.
All right, you go get on the roof. Me and TJ will wait in here with stakes and mallets until you get a shot off, I guess. When you pull the trigger, that'll be sort of our key. Is that cool?
Yeah, I mean, if I can even locate him, yeah, I'll do my best. Turn on your phones, and I'm going to just like do a quick group call for them and just have it slipped in my pocket so that they can hear me.
Nice.
And do you ask them to put theirs on mute, or are you going to be hearing everything they say?
Man, these are good. These are all the questions I like. I like these. These are good. Yeah, so I turn my volume down and kind of reconfirm the direction I need to exit this building for the ladder.
I'll show you. I'm going to go out that same way to start trying to lead these things away.
All right, let's do this.
And so Ori leads you through the back room. It's actually his room, and you can see that there's, a TV and a game system and just some
his
books.
Coffin bed.
Yeah, his coffin bed. It's a race car bed.
Oh, nice.
It's a hearse. It's a race car hearse. And at the back of his room, there is a hallway that then leads to a couple other rooms and then a back door. And outside of the back door is a ladder that's going up to the roof. He opens up the bag and starts to move it around to get the smell to come out, and you can hear scratching and running. He's like, oh, that's fast. I gotta go.
Go.
And he starts running.
And I'll kind of give it a few beats to make sure that he goes. I don't essentially want to step out as they're swarming, you know what I mean? So I want to just give it a few counts.
He runs over to the next building and then basically down the path towards the end of the buildings.
Okay. Do I see any ghouls after him, hot on his trail?
Not yet, you don't.
Okay. And I'm going to keep waiting for a few moments.
And then eventually you see some kind of moving slowly and sniffing, and they kind of look at each other and sniff, and then they start moving in packs that direction. One of them picks something off of the ground and eats it, and then the others run ahead. And you see that pretty quickly it kind of wavers and lays down, and it looks like it goes to sleep.
Oh, yeah. So then up I go.
So you get up onto the roof. Read a bad situation.
Oh, good. 7.
I'm going to say that's a 6, actually. I'm going to use one of my 5 hold that you have given me over the course of Hawaii.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you're down to 3 now.
So with your 6, there's really not a lot of reason to ever get on the roof of these buildings, and so that means they don't check them often. The ladder gives way as you climb it and breaks backwards, making a very loud crunch sound. You're able to jump off because you're only 5 or 6 feet off the ground, but you hear that metal as it hits the ground echo through the resort.
So I'm still on the ground. Like I just barely made it up. It breaks.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Oh, I think I hear you.
Are there...
Oh, coming for you.
What's around me? Are there like any...
That moment where Tess started to talk and I just kept going and just his...
Eston does not care about your inner monologue, Tess.
Yeah. That's one of my, I love, there's not a whole lot of moves that give me tangible hold to use. And the thing I really liked about Tass's Bottle It Up is that saving it so long I can't imagine in the time that Tass had that move that I used it 5 times out of all the times that he
Gave you
purchased
hold.
hold.
Yeah.
Because for me it's just way more enjoyable when it has been forgotten.
So yeah,
You
so
know?
that was that's actually a perfect segue to the question that I was just about to ask you was how did you decide which instances you would decide to spend your hold in Bottle It Up?
So it was really if it was super close
Mhm.
to a failure anyway,
Mhm.
like I would nudge it over the edge. And because that hold is not a hard move, like for me, there's a difference between hold that I can spend to lower a player's success and a hard move. So I would use that hold on things that were important but not deadly.
Yeah. Yeah, cuz this didn't cuz this was not a hard move. This was just, now Eston has a bead on where you
Yeah.
are, but you still have time to act. You didn't
Yeah.
fall off the ladder into like a pile of ghouls or anything.
Yeah. Or like break your leg when you hit the ground. Yeah.
Are there
coming for you.
what's around me? Are there like any rocks? Is there a rock close? Is what I'm really needing to know.
Sure.
Am I close to any of the bungalows?
You're by other buildings.
Okay, I want to throw a rock at one of the adjacent buildings' windows and then run like hell the opposite direction back into the building.
Okay. Roll act under pressure.
Okay. That is a 10.
Yeah, you scoop up a rock, you pitch it, and dive back inside the building as the shatter happens.
Awesome.
And you hear his voice pass. TJ and Jake, you hear Eston's voice outside.
I keep thinking this. I have to say it. I don't know why, but for some reason, TJ's quivering bite hole would be a great grunge T-shirt, like a grunge band T-shirt. Anyway,
TJ and Jake, you hear Eston's voice outside as he passes by the building. There's a shatter of glass, and he giggles and continues past the door that he was getting ready to walk in, which was the door you're hiding behind. And now Tass is back in the room.
I'm pointing. He went that way. I broke glass. He chased it like an idiot.
And he just went by our door.
Yeah. There's a strange feedback as both of your phones play Tass's voice at the same time.
Oh, I'm going to fumble and turn it off.
Oh, what's that sound?
Oh, no.
I just look at Tass and go, just mouth, good job, idiot. I think I'm going to gesture that we go back out the door Tass just went out. Like if he's turned around and might be coming for the front, then let's circle around behind him, mouthing like go and like a loop around gesture with my hand.
I'm going to give a thumbs up.
And I'm just going to nod my head.
So you're all headed towards the back door trying to be quiet because you know this guy is out the front door.
Yes.
All right. Roll act under pressure, everybody.
that's one of those moments that that is just a fun moment for me of, I've got this hold and Tass has gotten himself into a situation, but then Tass, I think more than anybody, will just randomly insult an NPC that is within range of hearing him. And then I'll just be like, all right, well, what do I think is the effect of this? Hey, Harvey Dog.
I like that. I think that this is one of the first instances of the boys then just starting to pantomime rather complicated things.
Yeah.
And at least right now it's plausible, but eventually it gets like you would need to be like a master mime to successfully pantomime the very detailed plans that they suggest that they're doing silently.
There is one point where I stop. I say, why don't you do that for us right now? I need to see what this looks like.
Why don't you? No. Don't talk. Just
show me.
I want to hear what you're trying to do.
10.
8.
I see TJ's dice.
6.
So, Tash, you are able to sneak no problem very quickly and quietly through Ori's room, back down the hallways and out the door. Jake, you have not seen this part of the building yet. You're going to try to sneak through here, and to keep up with Tass, you're going to knock something over and make a noise, or you're going to slow down and get lost inside of the building, or you can get out with Tass, but you know that you're going to leave TJ behind. We'll deal with TJs in a minute.
Leaving TJ behind is not an option. Boy, getting lost sounds real bad, and knocking something over invalidates this plan. I think I'm going to get lost.
Okay, so you duck into a door you think Tass went through, and it seems to be a clothing closet.
I start picking out a new look.
Yeah. You're like, I'm just going to disguise myself. Maybe I can get the hell out of here.
It's like the closet in GTA. As soon as I walk in, I'm locked into an animation where I start trying on other clothes.
Oh, thank God there's
No.
a ghoul outfit. I think I can blend in. TJ, you're following behind Jake, and he slides into this closet, and you think, oh, this is where we need to go. So you start to open the door, and as you do, you feel a cool breeze across your neck, and then you smell rotting flesh, and there's a face right in front of yours. This man looks like he has the plague. He is patchy. Skin hangs off his bones, literally, not like from weight loss. He has a very dark, dirty brown hat that sits over his greasy hair. You seem to be lost. Why don't you come with me? And he grabs you and you both vanish. TJ, you get a point of experience.
I do.
Yeah, because you were
Yay.
kidnapped by the monster.
I'm a victim.
Jake, you hear this from inside the closet. Tass, you are outside. What are you doing outside?
I'm creeping around to where I am certain he is in front of that front door.
Yep.
And I'm going to shoot him in the back.
Excellent. So you get around to the front door, and there's nobody there. And you don't hear him anymore.
So I think I'm kind of spinning and scanning, looking for him, trying to be sneaky, I guess. And I'm going to turn back to my comrades to say, I don't see. Oh, where are you?
There's no one there.
Oh, dang. Through the front door or backtrack, through the front door or backtrack.
While he's struggling with that eternal battle, what are you doing, Jake?
This happened behind me, right? Like what I just heard.
Like right outside your door.
Yeah, so I'm opening the door to see if they're out there. Like, stay ready.
There's nobody there.
I am going to teleport to Tass.
Jake appears right next to you as you walk in the front door again.
Oh, God, don't do
He
that.
got TJ.
What? How?
I don't know. We took a wrong turn trying to follow you, and he's got TJ, and he's gone, and I'm going after TJ.
Okay, go.
And I do.
Yes, it would have been 2 points. And we do remedy that. I don't know if it happened off mic or if it is in the end of session experience, but we do give him that point later because we realized he did not take it in the moment. But yeah, he should have gotten 2 points there.
Yeah. There's a specific mundane move where you get experience if you are taken by the monster. Yes, enthalpy, always the victim, I think is what it is. Penguin says, I would love to watch y'all do a one shot with just gestures on stream. I'm trying to think of if there are like silent TTRPGs that I know of.
I just purchased one.
Did you?
That as you play is supposed to help you learn what's the proper terminology for it, but to learn sign language.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, to help you learn ASL.
Very cool. I know there's Alice is Missing, which is a silent game, but that is also done entirely on text message. So I don't think that would be a very. I have seen it streamed before. It's just quite a challenging setup. Where
because you have to have like a journal page you can type into.
Yeah, it was done. It was done with just like a bunch of Facebook Messenger chats. And so it was having like all 5 of those like up on screen so that the Twitch audience could like watch all of the simultaneous conversations. It was pretty well done, actually. Just very very impressive from a technical aspect.
Yeah.
TJ, you were standing in the middle of a graveyard. You have been for the past 10, 15 seconds listening to this man, Eston, talk. Their relatives never came to visit them, and I think that's very sad. So now we're giving them a purpose.
I'm just like, mm-hmm.
So, why were you in my home? You destroyed my setup. I don't know how to recreate that, and if I can't recreate that, I'm going to be very upset with you.
You don't know how to recreate that? What are you, some kind of idiot?
You take 4 harm.
Oh,
He
God.
backhands you, and you fall into an open grave and hit the ground, and Jake appears next to you.
And I grab him and I get us out of there.
Roll it.
I failed, and I'm trying to decide if I want to spend luck again already. Oh my God.
I mean,
I think TJ's going to die if I don't. I'm going to spend another point of luck.
Okay, where are you going?
I'm going to take him back to our room.
You guys appear there.
And as soon as we arrive, I'm going to grab a dose of the werewolf serum and dose him.
All right, TJ, you are fully healed.
And I want to kind of give TJ a once over, like checking his pupils and shit. Like, how are you? You good?
I'm great. I am. Let's do some damage.
Okay, we need to go back and get Tass.
And that's right. My voice got slightly deeper because of this. I assume it's because I sound like a werewolf more.
I think you're stereotyping werewolves.
So, Tass, you are
TJ was
in-
always very good about playing the having just been hit with the werewolf serum.
Yeah, being kind of like juiced up. Has anyone ran the numbers on how many times Jake has failed angel wings versus succeeded?
I can't remember if that breakdown lists what the move was or not.
I don't think so. I know, like, eventually Jake starts prioritizing weird a little more than he does here. I think because he realizes how often he ends up rolling angel wings.
Yeah.
Enthalpy says, it is crazy seeing how much they spend luck this early. And this was before luck ramifications for all of the playbooks existed.
Correct.
There were a few playbooks that had like built-in ramifications, but it wasn't one for every playbook like it is now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, Tass, you are in the lobby, and you're looking around.
I have no idea where old boy is, Eston is. So I just want to kind of like, I don't know, get behind the counter of the main desk, just kind of peek up and wait and watch.
Okay, so yeah, you hunker down behind the front desk, and a couple seconds pass, and then you feel a cold chill in the room, and you see in the other room, just right outside the door, the boots of this man as he appears. Oh, I lost you. Oh, I lost my friend. Where are my pets? Where are they? I don't... And you hear him sniffing very loudly. I must go find my pets. And then you feel the cold again. And then you can tell he's not there anymore.
Okay, guys.
So you guys are back at the room.
That's something that I really liked about Eston that doesn't really come up ever again, is the other senses that you get, like when he teleports, like that feeling of cold air moving past you, and just there's something I really like about because most of the teleporting we do is from Jake's point of view, and so we always talk about burst of light and da-da-da. It's not very often we get to hear what it's like from an onlooker's perspective, and so I always really liked just that section there where we get those couple of moments of the cold air.
Ugh, Eston is still so creepy to me. Was there an inspiration for this dude? How did you find this character?
It was really just, look wise, actually. It might even be in the main Monster of the Week book. Where there is, on like one of the mysteries, there is a picture of someone who, oh no, never mind. The image that I'm thinking of is the art that is on our season 2 banner.
Yep. There's an art somewhere. I commissioned it.
Oh wait, yeah, it's ours. No, I just had this very specific image in my head of almost like someone who had like radiation sickness. And just that big broad rimmed hat and the coat and the skin coming off and the long hair. And and then it was just he's a little Mad Hatter.
Yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, it was just and this is a theme that we'll see played out as we continue on in the story, but the effect in this world on speech patterns and mental processes of people who go other places or are linked to other things.
Mm-hmm.
Because we start to notice a pattern, and so that was kind of the beginning of that.
Mm-hmm. Penguins with a great question. Do all teleports work the same with giving do they all have that burst of cold air?
They don't. That is very specific to the kind of vampire that he is, because we will see later some other versions of teleportation that leave different remnants behind or can be sensed different ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've always been pretty good about that, of like asking players how they flavor certain certain aspects of their move, or if that changes because of either a shift in playbook or a shift in circumstances. Does this teleport look differently now? Does it present in a different way? It's good. I like it.
Yeah, and I liked specifically. I'm still thinking about Eston.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of, if you are sharing your consciousness with all of these other bodies, that you're kind of not sharing your consciousness, but a little part of him is connected to them, and they operate differently. That there is something about having to bounce your awareness around, and yeah, there's just something to me that it would make you very kind of
like scattered.
Yeah, scattered in a way, and yeah.
He's so good. He's so creepy. Like we're only in our second arc, but just like Eston to me is so spooky and like so iconic. Just the way that he talks and the mannerisms. Like he's he's so good. He's so frightening.
Yeah, I really like Eston and the tone that he brings, and then I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I love the emotional flavor that comes in the next story arc.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, the next story arc is really where the show kind of hits its pace of what I want it to be consistently. But I love the different elements that are getting added that then become hopefully part of what is always there.
Mm-hmm. Connor says, in a way, Eston is kind of the first villain.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
So you guys are back at the room. TJ's jacked up on werewolf serum, as is Jake.
We need to go back toward Tass. So
absolutely.
I think I'll head for go towards the door. And
I'm already out the door. I'm hopped up. Let's do this.
All right.
Stupendous.
So
then I'm following him.
Okay, so you guys run out the door and you hear Ori. What are you guys doing down here? You're supposed to be fighting the guy on that side of the property. These things are all over the place down here.
Yeah, let's go. Come on, Ori, let's go get him.
What do you do? Don't walk down the path. I just laid a trail that way. Read a bad situation.
8.
You get a hold 1.
What's the biggest threat?
You start to jog down the path and you're like, I wonder what's the biggest threat to me right now. And you hear just scutter, scutter, skitter, skitter, sniff, sniff. Like he led ghouls this way and you're just running into them the direction that he just came from.
I want to go grab TJ and yank him off the path, in between bungalows or something, just not on the sidewalk where Ori just said he laid a trail.
Okay, roll act under pressure. These things are just everywhere.
That's a 3. And I broke my pencil lead.
It's dark out. You run forward on the path after seeing TJ run into the darkness, and you get up behind him and you grab him. And you're like, what are you doing? We have to stay out here. And you pull him behind a thing and you spin around to talk to him, and it's a ghoul. And it goes, and it strikes at you. You take no damage because it only does 1 damage, but it is just in your face.
I want art of this specific thing with the moonlight shining down on us in an embrace.
And you having a heart to heart with this thing that you think is TJ and it's not. Or it's dressed like TJ in a really bad costume.
Where's TJ then? I don't know. I'm so turned around.
He did not get that art.
How did I mess this up so
it's
bad?
that werewolf blood fighting with that whatever vampire blood, and also your holy blood.
I think I just want to toss him back toward the path where all the food and stuff and all of his, like, that hopefully he'll get overwhelmed by the smells again and leave me alone. What am I rolling?
God. Straight tough.
9.
No problem. You
Okay.
pitch this thing back onto the path, and it happens to land in front of one of these ghoul sausages, and it eats it and goes to sleep.
Oh, sick. That worked out even better than I expected. And now I want to find out how I've lost TJ. So I guess I'll teleport to him.
All right. Or is like, hey, guys, you have to be... You appear next to TJ, and he is almost to the front office.
Cool. Did I hear Ori start a sentence? Was that real?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to go back to Ori and be like, sorry, what was that? I didn't catch the tail end of that. I think I do. Yeah.
Oh.
What were you saying? Sorry, I missed.
I was just saying, you guys got to hurry. I don't know how long these things will sleep after they eat them, and I think all of the treats have been eaten.
Okay, got it. Thanks, buddy.
Okay.
You're the best.
Thanks.
And then I go back to TJ. So as soon as I arrive back with TJ, I'm like, all right, Ori says we got to hurry up. They've eaten all the treats, and he doesn't know how long they'll stay down for.
Right, so we got to kill this guy faster.
So you guys go back to the main office, and you just go inside?
I want to peek in a window first. Like,
Yeah.
as we get close to it, just look in a window and see if I see a horrible vampire man.
Nope. Everything seems cool.
Yeah, then go inside. Tass.
You hear them.
Oh God, guys, he was just here. He was just here, and I'm coming out of the little office.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. He sort of appeared here, and then he was gone. He was looking for the ghouls.
Okay, well, we know where the ghouls are. They're between here and our room. Ori said that he thinks all the treats have been eaten, and he doesn't know how long they're going to stay down for. So we
Okay.
got to hurry. We don't have a long window without being overrun by those ghouls.
Okay, let's get outside so that I can get a little range on him. I'll get up on something, the bar maybe, and try to set up line of sight for a few shots. But that depends on you guys making some noise and bringing him to you. That brings him in close. I think we need to get outside so that we have a little bit of range on him and make some noise, bring him to us. I can get up on, like, say, the bar and try to line up a shot, but that relies on you guys making some noise and bringing him to you.
That's fine. I mean, we can get... So the ghouls were along the path that runs between the bungalows, so we can get, like, right on our end of that path and make noise and hope that if he went and found his pets, that he comes back that direction.
All right, let's give it a try.
Let's do it.
Okay, head toward the bar.
Okay. Yeah, you were able to get up on top of the bar. No problem. It's only like 8 feet high. And so just in the sense of the layout, you are at the backside of the pool. You can see very clearly from where you are bungalow 1 and 2, which are on opposite sides of the path. You can see down to the beach. You can see to the fire pit where you inspected the footprints in the sand. You can see down where the volleyball court is. And then behind you is the kind of rec center. And then a little further back in that direction is a building you guys have not been in yet.
On a quick scan, like, can I see any ghouls or him?
You can see the one that you saw fall asleep.
Okay. And yeah, I'm going to hunker down, get low, and wait.
And you guys are standing essentially on the path past where Tass is on the roof, but before it goes into the buildings.
Correct.
All right. How are you going to make noise?
Spooky man, come out and play.
I'm like, you're an idiot. And I said you were an idiot, you stupid idiot.
I stole your new toy. Do you want it back?
Everybody roll read a bad situation.
Oh, God.
11.
Good.
5.
That's funny. Twinsies.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, 5 twins.
Guess what I did, though?
What?
I done did level up.
Oh, all right.
Already?
Well, let's resolve that.
Oh
Good
my
Lord.
God.
Have you rolled 5 times? Oh, my God.
You lapped me.
So, TJ, what are you going to take?
I'm going to take a move from another playbook.
Oh, okay. What move's that?
I've went through all the different playbooks, and I found one that I think will really help out. In fact, it's called Helping Hand. It's from the Initiate playbook.
Uh-huh.
And what it does is when you successfully help out another hunter, they get +2 and not +1.
Oh, all
Oh,
right.
wait a minute. Does that include Power of Heart?
Yes, but I do want to take this moment to point out you've used Rung for quite a while because it's only in combat, and you've used it like 3 other times, and we just realized this in the discussion of powers.
Yeah.
So we'll be remedying that from here on out.
Yep. Only in combat can I ever
Only in
use
combat.
the Power of Heart.
So with a failure on read a bad situation, again, it is misread the situation or give away tactical info. Tass, I think you misread the situation. You see something moving, and you start to spin that direction because you think he's snuck up behind you. And so you're looking back towards the entrance of the resort.
Okay.
TJ, you see him spin around as you see Eston start to float out from between the 2 buildings. Realizing Tass is not looking the right way, you shout, "No, Tass, he's over here!" And you see Eston look to where you're shouting, and he sees Tass up on the building with his sniper rifle. It gets super complicated when I have to figure out how to work in both of your f***ups. Jake, you get a hold 3.
Excellent. What's the best way to protect the victims, my good friends who just damned themselves?
The best way to protect the victims, you see Eston come out, and he is floating about 2 feet above the air, and he is sniffing. Seeing him smell the air, having seen the ghouls smell the air, that if maybe you could stink up the area, or you could make it so that he couldn't smell, you think he would be at a disadvantage.
All right, I think I'm going to save my other 2. So, the closest thing that I could think of that has potent smells is probably things behind the bar. So I think I would want to get in the bar.
So you teleport to the bar right about the same time Eston does. Tass, you hear TJ yell your name. You spin around, realizing that what you saw wasn't what you thought you saw, and Eston appears on the roof with you. Roll act under pressure.
Okay. I just am bereft. I just rolled another failure. So I'm using luck. First time, whole campaign, I'm using it.
What would you like to do to get away from him?
I mean, if I'm using my luck,
Uh-huh.
I want to backflip off this roof while slipping the sniper rifle into its holster and taking the shotgun out with the other hand.
Not a problem. You land behind the bar, having weapons swapped in mid-flip, and you land on the ground. TJ, what are you doing?
I have to run over to my friends because I'm over nowhere near them at the moment.
It's true. So you start heading over towards... do you have a weapon? Do you have a...
I've got nunchucks and the steak.
What do you
and
have
mallets.
out?
Oh, I've got my steak and mallet out.
Okay. Just running, pretending to hammer at him. I'm going to hammer like this, and if your chest gets in the way, it's not my fault.
That's right.
Jake, you see that Tass has backflipped off the roof of this little bar, and he has switched weapons, and he's looking up. You get the sense that Eston is above you. What are you going to do?
I basically want to drag a bunch of bottles just off the shelf in that direction and try and smash them on the ground in the hopes that some of this like alcohol smell starts filling the air and throws him off his game.
Yeah, you have destroyed a full 2 shelves of these bottles. Tass, as Jake smashes all these bottles, you see that Eston starts to scratch at his face and sniff, and he seems very distracted and off-put for a moment, and then he tries to turn his focus back towards you, but you can see that the muscles around his nose and his eyes are twitching a little bit, like whatever Jake is doing, the smell of it is having some effect on him and his ability to focus. TJ, you arrive, so now you all 3 are around the little tiki bar. Jake is inside, smashing bottles. Tass and TJ are standing outside looking up at Eston on the roof. What do you want to do?
Well, he didn't like cordiality, so I'd like to put some buckshot in him.
Roll it.
It's a 9.
How much damage does that do?
3.
You fire the shotgun up at him, and you see the pellets kind of hit, and he drops from his float and lands on the roof. And he grins, and he starts stalking towards the edge of the roof towards you. Jake, what are you doing?
Can I hear him above me as he moves?
Yeah.
I want to follow him towards that edge, and when he gets close enough to the edge, I want to grab an ankle and try and yank him off. Yoink!
Roll no limits.
Are you sure? Can I sell you on kick some ass?
With his strength, you cannot.
Well, I've got great news for everybody. I failed. Outright.
You charge forward, and you're going to try to reach up and grab Eston's foot as he reaches the edge of the building. You get super jazzed about this idea, and you feel the strength surge through you. And as you reach up, you punch through the support column, and the roof collapses down on you. The two of you see the ceiling collapse, and there's a moment where Estes goes, huh, and then he's floating. And then he drives down into the pile. 3 points of damage.
One might call it a pile driver.
Uh-huh.
Like
Like he just flies straight down into the rubble and then back up. What are you guys doing?
I can't remember what that is from, but that move is very specifically in my head from either a cartoon or a movie, but of like someone being knocked to the ground and someone flying above them and just very quickly, like feet down, just slamming down into them, then back up. Like just arms crossed as they do it.
Enthalpy, was there a reason TJ didn't choose to help out there? You just had that conversation.
You know, I don't think there's... Boy, it's hard to say. I think that just in the moment, people don't think to help out sometimes, or they convince themselves that they can't because they've just done something, or maybe they're in a bad spot. And so it could even be that, you know, he may have asked and we decided that he wasn't really in a place to do it, and so that got cut. But I can't really think of why he wouldn't have been able to in this moment, because right now they were all kind of set up to try and advance.
Did Jake say the number that he rolled? Because it could have also just been that he didn't roll something that would have pushed it into mixed.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't recall. We just listened to it.
I think he just said that he failed.
Yeah. So it could have been like a 3, because his weird is
a
negative
-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you were referring
What
to
are you guys
Tass's 9. Then yeah,
Oh, I
I
see.
have no idea.
Yeah.
Sometimes people
What are you guys doing?
forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, if he's still just floating there and he's just crashed into the Jake pile, I'm going to take another shot.
Roll it.
10.
Excellent. It's a 9 now.
Oh,
You're down
no.
to 2, keeper.
I'm sure you'll give me more soon.
I know.
I got to use these. I didn't use any of them at the Halifax, and then they all just went away.
Yep.
So you exchange harm. He sees you getting ready to pull the trigger again, and he comes down towards you. You do 3 damage that does,
Mm-hmm.
and he does 4
Oof.
minus your armor.
Jesus.
I will take it willingly.
Does he have his back towards me now?
He's kind of next to you.
I'm going to take a swing with that stake and hammer.
All right,
so-
roll kick some ass.
Yeah. Come on, baby. That would be an 8.
All right, so you guys exchange harm.
It's going to suck.
So that stake does 4, is that right?
4, and then I assume I take 4 as well.
That is correct.
-1.
Oof.
So this melee has gotten pretty hot and heavy real fast. Jake collapses the building on top of himself. Eston drops down into the rubble and kind of stomps and then floats back up. You take a shot at him. He lunges towards you, clawing at you. TJ jumps up behind him, puts the stake to where his heart is, and starts to hammer through the back. It seems to hurt him very badly. He throws an elbow backwards, hits TJ in the face, knocking him. Jake, you hear this commotion outside of the rubble of your little tiki hut. What do you want to do?
I want to get out of the hut and teleport to TJ.
You teleport to TJ. TJ is on the ground about 5 feet from Eston.
If I can, I want to stake him.
Roll kick some ass.
I'm going to tell him that my stake is already in the back and that he should aim for the one that's already there.
All right. Yeah, that works. Roll kick some ass, Jake, and you get +2.
12.
Yo!
What is your extra effect?
I want to suffer less harm.
You hear TJ's words. You drop your stake and grasp your mallet with both hands, and you swing right at the nub of TJ's stake that is sticking out of his back, and you see it pass through his chest. He's leaning into Tass's face, fangs starting to come out, and Tass, you see his eyes get wide, and then all of a sudden there's just dust between you and Jake, and a stake clatters to the ground.
Oh my god, did we do it?
It seems like it. It seems like we did it.
I am going to lay back in the sand and I'm going to put both of my hands up in the air for high fives and just giggle like an idiot.
Yeah, I guess I'll high five him, but I am still concerned about the ghoul problem, so.
I'm going to high five him, but I'm going to grab his hand and pull him off the ground so he can get his butt up so we can deal with this.
Yeah, okay. Let's do this, boys.
Yeah.
So how are you guys...
Yeah, so that was really, you know, and it this gets into a whole other conversation, but this fight with Eston, there's always an element when you create a monster, when you create a boss, whatever, of, okay, what kind of moves does it have? What kind of damage does it have? What kind of life does it have? What kind of armor does it have? And it got to a point where, and I think this is probably something that I shouldn't have done, but it just seemed like the safest thing to do. But when you have players that take a bunch of armor, my option is, because that's them telling me they want to be hit a lot, but be able to take it. And so my options to actually damage the players become, okay, do I have it do a lot of damage, like 4 damage, or do I have it do less damage and have it be armor defeating? And because it's only 3 players, it makes it a lot harder to do fights.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are 21 hit points that can go around, and that's not a lot. And so I started to err on the side of smaller hits that were armor defeating, and then fewer moves that did large hits, because if a creature could do like Eston did here,
Eston's
4 damage,
4 points of damage.
yeah, which is great in this moment because everybody's got armor.
Mm-hmm.
But then we get a little bit later on, and maybe someone doesn't have any armor, and they want to get into the fight as well. I was compensating in a way that I probably shouldn't have. That's more so, I think, for the players to get in that situation and go, oh, I can't do that anymore. Like, I can't get into the fight. So I that's something that I have actively started switching away from. But the first season I was pretty bad about.
Mm-hmm. Penguins asks, Rev, how much satisfaction do you get out of saying that actually you rolled a blank and watching their expressions?
Not as much. Like, I am not a fan of or a believer in the idea of like, oh, you torture your players. Like that, players, I've said this before. If you want to kill your players, super easy. Super easy. The thing that I really like is, like, the thing that gives me the most joy at the table is it's either a reveal that I'm very proud of and seeing like it dawn on everybody, or it is, here's option A, here is option B. Which one are you gonna do? And because I like, I've talked about before that this story to me really is about moral dilemma. Like, this is a story about moral dilemma, because here are the things we think that are right. Okay, we've learned something new, and so maybe that's not the way it is. Well, how do we navigate this new world every time we get a new piece of understanding, and we're forced to make these hard decisions in a confrontation that wants to be black and white, while we're the people who are seeing the most gray.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I really get joy out of, is watching the players struggle and make that decision of, okay, this is the choice. And that's a big part of, I think, too, on a much smaller scale, why I like giving 3 options with Back Under Pressure, because I just love that element of player choice.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you guys proceeding? What kind of weapons are you using? How are you going to go through this ghoul maze and try to deal with this problem?
I would offer somebody my shotgun, and then I'm going to switch over my light rifle to the close setting, the shotgun setting.
Okay, so that does the 4 light damage.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the shotgun.
All right, so there is one fairly close up the path. That's the one that you saw fall asleep.
Okay, I'm going to walk straight up to it and hold the light rifle to its face.
Mm-hmm.
Say, you guys ready?
Yeah.
And I'm going to pull the trigger.
You pull the trigger on this light rifle, and the ghoul disintegrates. You can see from pulling the trigger of this that your intel about a ghoul's weakness to sunlight still holds true. These ghouls are able to get around in the daylight, but you think it might be because they have a little bit of armor to them, but condensed light still gets to them.
Oh, boys. This is going to be a good night.
And I pump the shotgun. welcome to Dawn's early light. Not realizing that, you know,
just lost,
I don't.
that you
yeah,
just lost a live cartridge.
Yeah.
That now you have one bullet left.
Oh, I see the cartridge fall down, and I obviously pick it up and put it in awkwardly, and like,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
this
put
how
it
you
in,
do it?
put it in backwards.
Yeah.
Like Elmer Fudd. We're not going to go through this. You guys easily clean up these sleeping ghouls because of your weapon and their weakness to light. It does double damage. They only have 7 hit points, so you're doing 8 damage a pop to them. You're able to move through. You can see all of them, no problem. As far as you can tell, this is all there is. Ori is at the end of this little path of destruction because it's about every 30, 40 feet, there's a ghoul asleep on the pathway, and you're just like, bloof, 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 bloof. And they just go up in a little flash of light.
I love that my rifle changes its inflection based on how it's feeling at the time.
Yeah. No, that's the sound of them imploding.
Oh, I see.
I don't know how I feel about the fact that you're doing 8 damage to something with a weapon that has no kick.
Yeah, right? It's literally like turning on a flashlight,
Yeah,
I
you're
assume.
pulling a trigger that just turns on a flashlight and then off a flashlight.
I think 1 or 2 of them, I take it like a sweeping motion to just kind of like erase them.
It only does part of the damage that way if it's not focused. Yeah. So they
okay.
wake up and they bite you.
Okay.
So Ori is at the end of this path of destruction. Is everything all right? Wait, good Lord, why didn't you let me borrow that? I could have taken care of these things.
I wasn't sure if it would work against old boy, so I wanted to keep it for that. Sorry.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, the good news is we got him.
Oh, good.
So now we need to figure out our story that covers your ass.
I think that if I can convince him that she went crazy from being, with him for that amount of time, then it might be okay.
That is a damn good story.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not far off. I mean,
Yeah, I just don't know. He's never used any kind of mind powers on me before or anything, and I don't think it's from lack of trying, but like I said, I don't really know exactly what I am or how I work.
Do you want to, find out what you are and how you work? Because,
What do you like?
I mean, our organization deals in monsters. They might be able to tell you some stuff about you.
Oh, I doubt it. Yeah, I'd like to know, but man, anytime you get a group of people into an organization and they have an agenda, I don't imagine I come out of your place of business alive.
yeah,
What
That's a fair
about
concern.
he's not wrong.
what about Rev? We have a friend who deals with magic and creatures and lore and everything like that. He might be able to tell you what you are.
Does he kill things?
No.
No.
Yeah, all right. It might be a couple days. I should stay here and see if he shows up. But yeah, I mean, you tell me where to go or whatever, and I'll try to come visit, I guess. Is there anything else you guys want to do? I would say, it's not out of reason to go to sleep and get up and have breakfast, act like everything's fine, and then you guys should continue acting like everything is fine and get on a plane and get out of here. Because I'm
Yeah.
sure he'll give it a little window before he checks in, even if he's upset.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I still need to go retrieve my hammer.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, we might want to scope out the rest of his lair. We didn't cover every inch of that place. Couldn't hurt.
Sure.
It's way too dark for you to dive into the ocean and find anything. So you probably want to wait till morning to try.
Yeah, I'll wait until it's daylight.
So you guys go to sleep?
Yeah, I think so.
The sleep of 1,000 dreams.
Before we go to bed, I should probably try to medic TJ up a little bit.
Oh, he did get kind of messed
Boned.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Do you want
Yeah,
me to
go ahead.
give it a
All
try?
right. Yeah,
Well, we're
sure.
not in craziness.
Well, I'm a little apprehensive because of the last time you tried to heal me and you cut open
hey,
my bite
Quivering
holes.
bite hole.
hey, TJ, shut up.
All right.
Okay. Yep. Well, that's a 9, so
Okay.
that would heal up 2 points for you.
Excellent. Oh, that's
So what are you
much
at now,
better.
TJ?
I'm at 1 harm.
You're welcome. Jakey Poo, do you want a little tender, loving heal?
No, I'm good.
Okay, that's fair.
Do you need me to?
It's not worth you just taking more to chance it. I'm not bad.
Okay.
You're all pretty exhausted. So the next morning, Ori makes breakfast. You guys eat. How are you going to go back out to the island to investigate it?
Do you want to go try to start the Jeep?
Yeah, I'll teleport out to the Jeep and see if it's rested long enough yet.
It starts.
Okay, then I will drive it back across and pick them up.
So TJ and Tass get into the Sea Gobbler and head across. Jake teleports onto the beach and waits for them. You guys get there, climb out of the car. Where are you going?
Well, I guess if we're looking for the hammer, it went straight down the hole. We should probably just go back there, right?
Yeah, throw on my scuba gear and...
Is anybody going to
water.
help him?
Yeah.
And you're staying?
I'll stay up here at this shack.
So you both end up in the water down at the bottom of this pit, and you're swimming to the bottom trying to find this lost hammer. Roll investigate a mystery.
So as we're swimming, I'll just kind of stay on his side and, anywhere that I see him kind of looking and directing the flashlight, I just want to kind of widen that scope with mine. So
Okay. Roll help out.
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
what you've
no.
done.
But you do get a +1.
Well, that puts me at a 6.
Oh, no.
Failing that investigate roll actually levels me up.
Oh, okay. What are you going to take?
I'm going to do a boring one. I'm just going to get +1 weird. So that brings me to a 0. And hopefully I fail my angel wings and no limits rolls slightly less often.
Okay.
I dig that.
All right. So you guys look around here for a little while, and you don't see anything. Not that you don't see the hammer, but you really have a hard time seeing anything. It's very dark, and there's a lot of... it's like the sand has been kicked up a lot, things swimming around down here frantically, and so it's hard to see. You guys swim back up to the top, and you start to make your rounds around the inside of the base. You go into what was the workshop with the cage, and everything looks just like you left it. You go back to the center or the right tunnel next.
I cleared the center, like I went all the way down that to the sea.
Okay, yeah, I mean, we might as well head right.
How far are you going to follow this right tunnel? Because it goes for a minute. Like, you're in there for a little bit, and it still keeps going.
How about this? If you want to pop up and let Tej know what we're doing, if we think this goes all the way back, I'll follow it the whole way just to kind of see if there's anything down here, any other offshoots or anything else. And, you can either go back with him on the Jeep or let him know so that he can take it over and then come back down with me, whatever you think.
All right, I'll pop up to TJ and, hey, we're going to follow the right tunnel, which seems to go on for quite a while. So if you want to take the Jeep back to the island and rendezvous with us, or...
Did you find your hammer?
No, no, I didn't.
Oh, sorry, man.
Well, hopefully I can come back with something more robust than a dive light and track it down later. But unless you have a problem with it, I'm going to go down with Tass again and walk that tunnel. You think you can get the Jeep back okay and everything will
sure.
be fine?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, and then I poof back down.
And as he poofs back down, I go towards the hole in the shack, and I jump into the hole and start the search for his hammer.
Oh, okay. Roll investigate a mystery.
Oh my God.
I'm going to burn a luck.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Doomed. He's going to be doomed.
Oh, you're so close.
So as you appear back in the tunnel, Jake, you hear... Sploosh. TJ, you start to swim around.
I think I just stop and shake my head and turn around to go see what that was. I assume Tass also heard it.
Yeah.
Well, can't say I'm not proud of him. And we'll turn around and head that way.
Okay. So you guys get to the edge of the pool. You can tell that there are some ripples. You don't hear TJ up above anymore.
I'll jump in.
I guess I'll teleport to TJ.
So Tash, you jump in. Jake, you teleport next to TJ, and he is at the bottom, a little distance away from the opening of the pit into the water. You see this, Tass, and I assume you swim over to where they're at.
Yep.
There's a bunch of seaweed and a very large shell, and right next to the shell, you can see he's floating there, and he sees you, and he points to your hammer. It is down amidst the seaweed.
Okay, I'll swim down and grab it.
You grab hold of the hammer, and there is a flash of light, and you vanish. And suddenly you're standing in front of a very thick, mustached old man. He's missing an eye. He is dressed in scales that are covered in frost. I think you and I need to have a chat. And the two of you, the light clears and the hammer is still there. And we all know that this is a cosplay prop from the comic book and the movie Thor, and it says in the inscription, "Whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor." And the words shimmer, and worthy changes to unworthy.
Hey.
That
Uh,
leads to one of my favorite episodes, which is Trial of the Unworthy.
Yeah,
Which
a lot of people, it's their favorite episode of the first season, I think.
I love it so much. It's not my favorite episode of season 1. We'll get to my favorite episode of season 1.
Yeah.
It's up there, definitely. TJ jumping off is one of my favorite moments that happens in the
It's
show.
a very TJ energy.
Yeah.
Like him not being able to overcome a fear for himself, but for someone else is
Doing it
his peak TJ.
for Jake. And doing it without telling anybody is also
Yeah.
peak
Oh,
TJ.
yeah.
Like saying like, "Oh yeah, I'll drive the Jeep back," and it's like, "I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do that."
The question, Enthalpy, about the Argonaut, it is a really simple answer, actually. It's that, and this doesn't spoil anything, but it's not really something that was ever found out. The Argonaut was not like his car, like to get around. It was a location for him to go to when he needed something, but he was not at it very often. And so that's just it was more so it had been there for quite a long time. And as a ramification of the events that happen here, it gets moved to a different location.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I have a question. I don't think you can necessarily answer this.
Okay.
But Ori was saying that he doesn't necessarily know what kind of vampire he is. And eventually, as we go further into the show, we find out about all sorts of different kinds of vampires. Do you have like a master list somewhere of like different kinds of vampires in the world, or like what kind of a vampire Ori is, what kind of a vampire Nash is?
And what their abilities are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do?
Mhm.
Okay.
Because I didn't like the idea of singular type of vampire. And so I really liked the idea of different kinds of vampires with different abilities. So yeah, like I can say that the vampires that we have met are all different types. But then, the further you go on, that's not necessarily the case anymore, but up to this point.
Nice. All right, so you have a few minutes to get in any last minute questions, should you want to. But let's talk about what's coming up for the rest of the week. So Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, please join Megan and myself for Mystery Detectives. We are going to be doing part 2 of Nancy Drew, The Silent Spy. We are in Scotland. We're trying to prevent a terrorist attack. We're trying to get to the bottom of what happened to Nancy's dead mom. A lot is going on in this game. A lot of stuff. So please grab your trench coats, some fedoras, or your spy tuxedos, and join us for Mystery Detectives. Next Monday, another very big stream. It's the season finale of the Omniverse Chronicles Crossroads Carnival. We've got one final episode to try to prevent the apocalypse. Yeah, I've been having such fun being in that world and getting to know those characters, and I will be sad. I'll be sad to see it go. And then next week at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna be listening to the final episode of the Hawaii arc. We're gonna get through Tass and TJ finishing up in Hawaii, and Jake doing the Trial of the Unworthy, which is a very cool, very interesting episode. Let's see. Enthalpy says the cat and mouse phase of the Eston fight was amazingly tense. Any commentary about what went into that?
Yeah. So there was a map that I had that they knew what it looked like, and a lot of it was just deciding who was where, when Eston would move and why, and then getting very specific from them about what direction they were going, how far they were going, and constantly interjecting Eston's presence when it was near.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big thing, is there's something particularly unnerving about the presence that you can hear and not see.
Especially when it's done with that voice acting.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. One of my favorite NPC villains that you've done. Just so frightening, so good. It's almost like you're a professional voice actor or something. Was Hawaii the arc where Tass zipped up his jacket?
Where he buttoned up his
vest.
His vest, yes.
Yes.
To get the extra armor.
Jesus. Yes, that was. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me, Rev.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks all of you for hanging out with us. Please join us next week for episode 12 and the trial of the unworthy. Have a great night.
Bye.